joining me on the mat this evening. This week's focus is on hamstrings and glutes. So we try and look at those two muscle groups together because they definitely affect each other depending on if we're using them or if we're activating them or not. So in particular, if we're not activating our glute muscles for a lot of different reasons that might happen, chances are then we'll start to overwork our hamstring muscles instead. And they're kind of a lesser group of muscles. So we don't really want them to be trying to do the work of our glute muscles. Often you'll know if the hamstrings are overworked, they'll feel a little bit tight, a little bit over lengthened. Also, if the glutes aren't activating, chances are that the pelvis will be slightly tilted. And if we're doing a lot of work into the front of the body, which we do quite often as athletes, kind of compress into the front of the body, you'll find that will tilt the pelvis even a little bit more. So if you think about our bone structure here at our hips, if it's tilted forward because those glutes aren't keeping it in place, they're not stabilizing it, it's going to be pulling on the hamstrings. So again, what feels like a really tight hamstring can also be an over lengthened hamstring. So we can stretch our little hearts out into those hamstrings, but if they're already over lengthened, we could actually do more damage than good. How we'll know that, and again, I've mentioned this to you before, but I can't stop talking about it because it's so important, particularly for athletes. When we're stretching into that hamstring muscle, so that muscle to the back of the upper leg, we only want to feel the stretch in the center of the muscle, so that really fleshy part. So not underneath the knee and not up near the sit bone. And if we're finding that stretch is happening there, chances are we've probably already over lengthened. So what you can do, I won't bring you out of the pose. You can still focus on, say, we're working into that lower leg, but just keep a little softness or bend to that knee. Okay, and I'll offer you other variations as we go through it. We will be activating quite a lot into those glutes. So again, even if it doesn't happen with the first few poses, stay with it. We check in how those glutes are working and I'll key you through it as we go. So we're going to come to a nice easy cross-legged to start with. And again, just notice where those hips are at. So if the knees are quite high, chances are those hip flexors might be a wee bit tight already. So we're just going to gently press the knees down, just using the hip muscles themselves, so not using the hands here. We're going to sit nice and tall, imagining a piece of string attached to the crown of your head, drawing you toward the ceiling. I want you to imagine an elastic band from your belly button right up through to your heart center, right up through to your forehead, and we're stretching into that piece of elastic. So think about sitting tall, sitting proud, sitting open in the chest. We'll open the palms and begin. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulder blades. And we'll do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch as we inhale, take the gaze up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. We'll do that 1 more time. Arms right back in line with the ears. And then exhale, press forward and release. We're going to work straight into mobilizing those hips. So we're going to pick the right foot up. We're going to place it in the left hand. Draw the toe toward the knee. Place the right knee in the right hand. And again, try to sit nice and tall here. If we can, bring the shin a little bit higher, but don't force it. And then gently rock into that right hip. Really, really slowly. Keep drawing the toe toward that right knee. So we're not feeling this in the right knee joint. It's all about that right hip. A little bit into the hamstring. Relax the breath. So we're breathing softly in and out through the nose, drawing that breath deep down into the belly. And that movement is nice and slow. So just getting a nice little bit of range into that hip, not forcing it. And then we're going to move back to center. So we have options here. We can either come back into easy cross-legged with that right foot on top, or we can stack that right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left ankle, and come into our log pose. So a little bit stronger. You'll notice if that right knee is not coming down again, that right hip might be a bit tight or that glute might be working. So see if we can press that right knee down naturally. Draw the toes toward the knee. If we're an easy cross-legged, hands are placed down on the knees. We're going to inhale, sit as tall as we can. And as we exhale, just allow ourselves sink into the seat. If you want to go deeper, we're going to inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, gently press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back and fold. So whether we're in easy cross-legged or log pose, if we're folding, we might bring those hands out in front. As we inhale, draw the chest forward, sink the shoulders back. And as we exhale, fold a little bit more. Relax the head, relax the neck. Use that connection with the finger pads on the ground to literally press the ground away and see if we can ground that sit bone back. So we're really feeling this quite strongly into the right glute here. Draw the belly in, see if we can create a wee bit more space for that fold for one more breath. Slowly tuck the chin in. We're going to walk those hands back toward the body. Hugging the right knee in. And then we're going to bring that right foot behind us. We're going to come into 90-90 with the legs. So again, lovely 90-degree angles at all the joints. You might need to scooch that left knee until it's straight in line with the left hip. Bringing that right lower leg out at a nice 90-degree angle. We might automatically find ourselves falling over to the left. So we're going to press the ground away, draw those fingertips out to the right, and just sit nice and tall here. So again, we can stay here, lengthening as we inhale, releasing into the hips as we exhale, pressing that inner thigh into the ground. If we want to go deeper, we're going to inhale, lengthen, and as we exhale, again, gently folding from that lower back. Lengthen through the spine. We're going to walk the hands forward, outside the body. As we inhale, draw the chest forward. As we exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. And again, try not to fall all the way over to your left. Keep pressing that right inner thigh toward the ground. Don't get too caught up in how far forward we're folding, if we're folding at all. Once we're getting a little release into that left hip, a little bit into the right inner hip, and a nice length into the spine. One more breath here. And then slowly tuck the chin in. We're going to walk the hands back toward the body, either side of the body. And we're going to go for a little bit of activation into that right glute. Keeping the right knee grounded, we're going to inhale, see if we can pick the right foot off the ground. And that's really testing whether we can activate those glute muscles. Don't get too worried if it doesn't lift the first time. We're going to rest the right foot down. Keep the foot on the ground. This time we're going to inhale the right knee off the ground. Hold it here for 3. Lift a little bit more for 2. And 1, release the knee. Inhale, right foot off the ground. Exhale, release. Inhale, right knee off the ground. Exhale, release. And continue with your own breath. So you'll probably find the knee a little bit easier to lift than the foot. And again, even if the foot doesn't lift, just starting to make that connection, allowing the brain connect to the movement. Sometimes even visualizing that movement can start to turn those little muscle fibers on that we didn't know were there, or just haven't been used in a while. So again, just rocking into that right hip, not enforced. Right there. And then leaning back, resting into that 90-90. We're going to bring that right foot all the way around. Back into easy cross-legged, and then we're going to pick the left foot up. So same little sequence on the other side. Left foot rests into the right hand, left knee into the left hand. Draw the toe toward the knee. Keep that lower leg active. Sit nice and tall. Maybe bring the shin a little bit higher with egg collapsing into the spine, and then gently rock into that left hip. Again, a really slow, controlled movement. And just notice how that hip feels, even compared to the other side. So thinking about balance here. We really find it when we slow the movement right down in these mobilizations, noticing any little points of resistance, and sometimes even just that mobilizer itself will release those points of resistance. Often it could be just how we sat that day or how we slept the night before. But again, if it starts to become a recurring issue or causing injuries or problems down the chain of the body, that's where we really need to start listening to those hips a wee bit more. So again, just mobilizing for now. Slow, controlled, rocking movement. And then we're going to meet back at center. Again, option to come back into easy cross-legged, palms down on the knees, or we can stack those joints coming into our log pose. So left ankle rests on the right knee. Left knee rests on the right ankle, and we're pressing that left knee down without using the hands, just using those hips. Drawing the toes toward the knee. Keep those lower legs active. As we inhale, sit tall, and as we exhale, just allow the body sink into that seat. And again, we can stay here. That might be deep enough. If you want to go deeper, we're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, gently press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, and slowly leaning. Keeping that spine nice and long as we inhale, take the chest forward. As we exhale, fold a little bit more. If that feels good, maybe bring those hands out in front, coming onto the finger pads. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine.
As we exhale, fold a little bit more. Keep drawing the belly in. Create as much space for that fold to happen. Pressing the ground away with those finger pads. Really trying to draw those sit bones back. Relax the head. Relax the neck. Relax the breath. We'll pause here with the breath. One more. And then slowly tuck the chin in. We're going to walk those hands back toward the body. Hugging the left knee into the chest, and then we're going to bring that left foot behind us, coming into 90 degrees on the other side. Again, nice square angles at all the joints. Maybe bring that left shin out. And again, lining that right knee up with the right hip. Pressing the ground away from the right, reaching those left fingertips out to the left. We're going to inhale, sit tall, and as we exhale, sink those hips. Again, pressing that inner left thigh toward the ground. We can stay here, or if we want to go deeper, we're going to inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, gently press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, folding forward from that lower back, walking the hands forward, taking the weight of the body. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold a little bit more. And as we fold, we're predominantly feeling it in the right hip, but I also want you to press that left inner thigh into the ground, feeling that activation. Each inhale, think about lengthening the spine. Each exhale, folding, sinking a little bit deeper. One more breath here. Gently tuck the chin in. We're going to walk those hands back toward the body, outside the body. And again, we're going to in that little activator into the left glute. And again, it might be different from the other side. We'll test it out. Keeping the left knee grounded, see if we can pick the left foot up. So that left knee is on the ground and we're lifting the ankle as much as we can for 3. Press the ground away with the hands for 2. And 1, release the foot. Foot stays in the ground. We're going to inhale the left knee up. Again, just from the hips. So we're not rotating the body open here. Movement is just from the hips for 3, for 2, and 1, release. Inhale, right foot off the ground. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee off the ground. Exhale, release. And continue with your own breath. Again, trying to get as much height with the foot and the knee as we can, but again, we're just focusing in on that left hip. That's where the movement is. Torso stays where it's at. Arms are strong. We're pressing the ground away, so we're not putting too much pressure into that right hip. Relax the breath. And then gently releasing back to center. When you're ready, we're going to draw that left leg around to meet, right? Meeting in our crisscross, and then we're going to come to lie on the mat. So if you have your block and your strap, just have it within reach here. So lying back onto the ground, knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, straighten the left leg, pressing away through that left heel, nice and active through that left foot. Right hand rests in the shin, left hand on the hip bone. We're going to inhale, press the shin into the hand. And as we exhale, work that right knee outside the line of the body. Just coming into a nice deep psoas stretch here. So each inhale, press the shin into the hand, activate. And as we exhale, draw that right knee out a little bit more. We'll do 2 more here. Activating as we inhale, releasing as we exhale. 1 more breath. So keep it nice and active. Inhale back to center. Left hand rests on the shin, right arm extends out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We'll shift the hips to the right and then draw that right leg across the body to the left, coming into a lovely spinal twist here. Left hand rests on the outer thigh. If you find you're not fully getting into that twist, just shift the hips slightly more to the right, allowing a little bit more space for that twist to happen. Gaze goes over the right fingertips, right shoulder, right arm, literally glued to the ground here. Inhale, draw a nice deep belly breath through the nose. And as we exhale, see if we can twist and release a little bit deeper. So getting a lovely sensation into that right glute here. Keeping the knee up in line with the hip. Drawing the belly in, lengthening through the spine. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into the left hip and quad, we're going to bend the left knee, walk that left foot as far out to the right as we can. We might even reach with that right hand to catch hold of the front of the foot. Or if we can't quite reach, we might use our towel or strap to wrap it around the front of that foot. If we've caught the foot, we're pressing the foot into the hand or strap, feeling that into the left hip and quad. Keep drawing that right shoulder down, keep drawing the right leg across the body. Nice big belly breaths for 3, for 2, And one, gently release the grip, extend the right arm back out, stretch that right foot back out, and then slowly inhale back to center. I'm getting confused by lefts and rights this evening. We're going to wrap our strap around the ball of that right foot. And again, I want you to really listen to the hamstring. So if we're feeling that stretch anywhere other than the belly of the hamstring, keep a little bend to the knee or drop the heel. So we're going to inhale, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. We're going to tuck those elbows into the waist. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together, feel the space of the chest. So as we inhale, press up. And as we exhale, draw those toes toward the face. So ideally, we're looking at an angle of about 80 to 90 degrees, the back of the leg to the mat. And again, if you need to bring a little bend to the knee, or otherwise we can drop the right heel and just focus into that lower leg. So keeping the leg straight in that instance. So we're just going to hold it here. Activating as we inhale, get a little bit more range as we exhale. One more breath. So we're going to get our right hand, we're going to catch hold of the strap and extend the left arm out in line with the shoulder palm down. Slowly exhale that right foot out to the right. We're going to bend the right elbow, place it to the ground to hold that leg in space, looking over the left fingertips. Notice if the left hip is coming off the ground at all, we're going to place the left hand onto the hip bone to really press it down toward the ground. So we should feel that lovely space across the whole front of the hips. As we inhale, press away through the right heel. And as we exhale, allow that foot drop out a little bit more. So we've got 3 muscles in our hamstring group. So we're working into the second here. And again, if you need to keep it softest to the knee, listen to the body. Again, trying to keep that foot up in line with the hip. So it's not about the foot touching the ground. It's trying to create that space. One more breath. We're going to inhale slowly back up to center, reverse the grip, left hand grips the strap, right arm extends out in line with the shoulder. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the right and then draw that right leg across the body to the left, coming into a little spinal twist. Gaze goes over the right fingertips. So we're working into the third muscle of our hamstring group here. And again, not one that we work into probably as much as the other. So if it does feel a little bit too much, do take a little bit of softness to that right knee, don't force it. We're going to inhale, press away through the right heel. And as we exhale, allow that foot drop over a little bit more. Keep the right shoulder glued to the ground. Nice big belly breaths for one more breath. And then inhale slowly back to center. We're going to hook the right knee strongly into the chest. Right hand grips the strap nice and close to the foot. We're going to inhale, press the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, see if we can draw that right knee outside the line of the body, coming into a little half happy baby. If we're already quite spacious in the hips, that right elbow might come inside the knee, but don't force it. So as we inhale, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw that right knee down toward the ground. So again, that right knee is deeply bent here. So slightly different from our last pose where the leg was straight and we had it out to the side. See if we can get a nice deep bend here. So we're working into the hips, only a little bit into the hamstring here. One more breath. We're going to bend the left knee, place the foot flat to the ground, and then we're going to rest that right ankle just above the left knee, coming into our figure 4. Lower back stays grounded on the mat. We're going to inhale, lift the left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling. Draw that right toe toward the right knee so it's nice and active in the lower leg. We're interlocking the fingers behind the back of that hamstring. But if they don't quite interlock, or we're rolling into the chest, or we're coming off the lower back, use your strap or towel, wrap it around the back of that left hamstring. So it's like a little extension of those arms, allowing you to come a little bit deeper into the pose. As we inhale, walk the shoulder blades together, lengthen the spine. And as we exhale, work the left knee a little bit closer toward the face as we press that right knee away from the body. Keep that right foot active. So keep drawing the toe toward the knee, protecting those knee joints. Relax the shoulders, relax the chest. Nice big belly breaths here. Every exhale, maybe getting a little bit deeper. Again, really nice one to do if you suffer from sciatica, like I've mentioned before. Again, it's not going to cure it, but it will definitely help alleviate some of the symptoms by just softening out those muscles around the nerve. One more breath here. Lovely. When you're ready, we're going to gently release the left foot down. We can release the strap off to the side. So staying in our figure four, we're going to work into our bridge. If you know figure four is not for you in your bridge, you're welcome at any time to place that right foot down to the left. Okay. Hands come to the ground. We're going to brush the backs of the heels with the fingertips. If we're in figure four, press that right knee away from the body. We're going to inhale, press the foot into the ground, gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground, lifting the hips toward the ceiling. See if we can walk those shoulder blades together underneath the upper back. Pressing the arms, shoulders, hands firmly into the ground, taking the pressure off the neck. Lift the hips a little bit higher, really pressing that left foot into the ground. Feel the glute, feel the hamstring activate. If we're in figure four, keep working that right knee toward the ground. And again, option here to bring that right foot parallel to the left, working into our traditional bridge. A little bit of movement. We're going to inhale, press up. And as we exhale, gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale, slowly up. Keep drawing the belly in. Nice core engagement. Exhale, slowly lower. And continue 4 more with your own breath. So as we lift the hips, I want you to imagine a straight line from the belly button through to the chest. So we're not overarching. Imagine somebody's about to drop something on your belly and you're trying to resist. So really draw those bellies in, trying to activate those core muscles, taking the pressure off the lower back. We'll do 1 more. And then release all the way down to the ground. We're going to cross the right leg softly over the left. Keep that lower back lifted to the ground. We're going to hug the knees into the chest, draw the belly in. Interlock the fingers around either the right knee, the left shin, or catch hold of the front of those ankles and work the heels nice and far away from each other. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together, opening into the heart. Draw the belly in, see if we can hug those knees a little bit closer toward the chest. If you want a little bit of upper core action, we're going to inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling and allow the head to lift off the ground. But again, no pressure on the neck here. We're going to hold it here, drawing the knees in. Relax the shoulders for 3. Feeling it in the right glute for 2. And 1, relax the head, release the grip, release those feet back to the ground. We're going to uncross the legs. Same sequence on the other side. We're going to hug the left knee in nice and tight. Extend that right foot out, nice and active through the right heel. Left hand rests in the shin, right hand onto the right hip bone. We're going to inhale, press the shin into the hand. And as we exhale, work that left knee outside the line of the body. 3 more breaths here. Activating as we inhale, releasing as we exhale. Keep it active. Keep that lower back pressed into the ground. Not forcing it, just a nice gentle release. 1 more breath. Inhale back to center. Right hand rests in the shin, left arm extends out in line with the shoulder palm down. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the left and then draw that left leg across the body to the right. Right hand rests on the outer thigh. We're going to look over the left shoulder, keeping that left shoulder literally glued to the ground. If we're not getting into the twist, just shift the hips a little bit more to the left. Ideally, left hip is stacked on top of right and both hip bones are centered down the midline of the mat. So we're not lying kind of diagonally across our mat. Nice big belly breaths here, drawing the breath as deep as we can. And as we exhale, see if we can twist and release a little bit more. If you want a little bit more depth into the front of the right hip and quad, we're going to bend the right knee and walk that right foot as far out to the left as we can. And that might be where we stop, or we might see if we can catch hold of the front of that right foot with a hand, or maybe wrap or strap or towel around the front of the foot. If we've caught hold of the foot, we're pressing the foot into the hand or strap. Keep drawing that left shoulder down. Keep drawing that left leg across the body. Knee is in line with the hip. Nice big belly breaths here. And even if we breathe a little bit deeper into the belly, we'll feel an extra little release into those hips. So it all works together. 1 more breath. Excellent. If we've caught hold of the foot, we're going to release, extend the left arm back out, straighten that right leg, and then slowly inhale back to center. So again, back to those hamstrings, being conscious if you feel you've over lengthened, keep that little bend to the knee. or any little niggles in the hamstring at all. So important that we don't overstretch, or if there's any little micro tears in there, the worst thing we want to do is make them bigger. So strengthening things like our bridge pose and whatnot, what we're going to do in our flow practice, that's what we'll focus on. So again, we're going to inhale, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. See if we can walk those elbows into the waist, walk the shoulder blades together, feel that space into the chest. Inhale, press sole of the foot into the strap. Exhale, draw the toes toward the face. We take 2 more breaths here. And again, listening to those hamstrings. Bend the knee if you need, drop the heel if you need. We're going to get the left hand, catch hold of the strap. Extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down, and then slowly exhale that left foot out to the left. Bending the left elbow, resting it to the ground, supporting that leg in space. Gaze goes over the right fingertips. Notice if the hip or the bum are peeling off the ground. Place the right hand onto the hip to really ground it to the earth here. As we inhale, press away through the left heel. As we exhale, allow that foot drop out a little bit more. So you'll notice here, if you're watching, my foot is rested on the couch, so I'm slightly cheating here. This is a really nice way of restoratively working into that hip. So again, we're not going to develop our flexibility, but we might just get a nice little restorative feeling from that stretch. So again, if you do, maybe after a long session, a hard day, and you don't really feel like holding the pose as such, just using the wall, the couch, the table, whatever it might be, to gently rest the foot against. And again, we have a lot less likelihood of overstretching if we have that prop there to stop us. 1 more breath. Inhale, slowly back to center. We're going to reverse the grip. Right hand catches hold of the strap, extend the left arm out in line with the shoulder. Gently shift the hips to the left, and then allow that left leg come across the body to the right. Gaze goes over the left shoulder, left arm, shoulder glued to the ground. Again, see if we can stack those hips, left hip on top of right. As we inhale, press away through the left heel. As we exhale, allow ourselves to sink into that twist a little bit more. And again, if it feels too intense at any stage, bring a little softness to the left knee, or even a deep bend, and just work into our twist and into that glute release. Nice big belly breaths. We'll take 1 more breath here. And then slowly we're going to inhale back to center. Hugging that left knee strongly into the chest. We're going to get the left hand catch hold of the strap, right hand rests on the hip. Inhale, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw that left knee outside the line of the body toward the ground beside us. Again, if the hip's already quite open, that left elbow might want to pop inside, but don't force it. As we inhale, press sole of the foot to the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw that left knee down toward the ground. Inhale, activating. Exhale, releasing. We'll do that 1 more time, 1 more breath. Nice and active. And then we're going to bend the right knee, place the foot flat to the ground. We're going to rest the left ankle just above the right knee, coming into our figure 4. Again, we can release the strap off to the side. Draw the left toe toward the knee, press the left knee away from the body. Keep that lower back grounded. We're going to inhale, pick the right foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling. Right foot is relaxed, left foot is active. Interlocking fingers or strap or towel around the back of that right hamstring. Gently walk the shoulder blades together, open the heart. As we exhale, draw that right knee a little bit closer toward the face as we continue to press the left knee away from the body, really feeling that into the left hip here. Relax the shoulders, feel that space into the chest. Maybe you can tuck the chin a little bit to release the back of the neck here. Each inhale, we're lengthening the spine, we're opening the heart. Each exhale, we're sinking a little bit deeper into those hips. Again, without forcing it, and just notice how it feels comparing to the other side. We'll take 1 more nice deep breath here. And then slowly release the right foot to the ground. Staying in our figure 4, or if you know figure 4 and bridge is not for you, returning that left foot to meet the right on the ground. We're going to place the hands to the ground, see if we can brush the backs of the heels with the fingertips. As we inhale, we're going to press the foot into the ground, gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground, lift the hips toward the ceiling. We're going to walk those shoulder blades together, taking the pressure off the neck. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Keep drawing that left toe toward the knee. Keep pressing the left knee down toward the ground. As we press the right foot into the ground, we're really feeling that into the right hamstring and glutes. And again, we can choose to stay here or bring a little bit of movement. So as we inhale, we're going to lift. And as we exhale, gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale, slowly up. Exhale, slowly lower. We're going to do that 4 more times. So try not to lower the whole way down. So we're hovering just off the mat, trying to get those hips lifted as high as we possibly can. Maybe getting a little bit higher each time we inhale. 2 more. Slow and controlled, both up and down. Mindfully moving into that core space. 1 more. And exhale, release slowly all the way down to the ground. We're going to cross the left leg softly over the right. Keep the lower back pressed into the ground. Keep drawing the belly in. We're going to inhale, hug the knees into the chest, either interlocking the hands around the left knee, the right chin, or catching hold of the front of the ankles and working those heels away from each other. Again, as we draw the belly in, create a little bit more space to hug the knees into the chest. Melt the shoulders toward the ground. If we want a little bit into the upper core, we're going to inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling and let the head lift. Hold it here. Relax the breath. Keep hugging those knees strongly into the chest for 3. For 2. And 1. Release the head, release the grip, release those feet all the way back to the ground. We're going to uncross the legs. Bring those feet about the width of the mat apart, allow the knees knock together, press that lower back into the ground, and again, a really nice way of gently releasing into those hips. We're going to bring the arms out into cactus arms. As we inhale, center. As we exhale, knees drop to the right, gaze to the left. Inhale back to center, exhale, press the knees all the way to the ground on the left, gaze to the right. And continue with your own breath. So just gently windscreen wiping those knees to side to side. Gaze goes over the opposite shoulder. And really try pressing those knees down toward the ground. So we're getting a release both into the outer and the inner hip. Making sure those feet are wide enough apart that those knees can drop behind the opposite foot. And then when you're ready, we're going to meet back at center. Lovely. From here, we're going to hug the knees into the chest. Crisscross of the ankles. Options to make your way anyway to seat, or if you want to join me, we're going to rock and roll 3 or 4 times, forward and back along the mat. Using the motion to massage the full length of the spine into the ground. Using that lovely strong core to draw ourselves forward into seat each time. And when we've done that 3 or 4 times, we're going to meet in a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. Hands come forward of the body. We're going to step back onto the knees, coming into a nice strong tabletop. So getting a little bit of mobilization into that spine. Shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, fingers are wide and spread. Knees hip width distance apart, hips stacked over knees. Notice if the belly's collapsed, we're going to draw the belly button in, activating those core muscles. Inhale, draw the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, really tuck the chin into the chest, and continue with your own breath. Again, if you want to space those knees a little bit further apart, make sure you feel nice and stable in the lower body. Close down the eyes and just really engage with the movement. So forget about what it looks like. Just enjoy creating that space, the full end of the spine. And again, try to keep those hips over the knees. So we're not sitting back onto the heels. We're not going into a child's pose. All that movement is in through the spine. Relax the breath. Again, there's no point in trying to release and engage into the hips if the structures either side are tight, rigid. So therefore, we need to really keep those spines nice and mobile. We're going to meet in stillness in our tabletop. When you're ready, we're going to keep that right hand grounded, shoulders stacked over the wrist. We're going to reach those left fingertips out in front Lifting the right foot, we're going to press back through the right heel, keep drawing the belly in, and then we're going to bend the right knee and press the sole of that right foot toward the ceiling. Inhale, draw left elbow, right knee into touch. Exhale, press it back. Sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Inhale, really slowly in. Exhale, press it back. And continue with your own breath. So that right knee is bent. So therefore, we're not just doing glute, we're working strongly into the hamstring here too. Keep drawing the belly in, engaging those core muscles. If you want to challenge the balance, we might follow the middle finger on that left hand with the gaze. So a moving drishti point or point of focus. Activating those core muscles. Feel those glutes fire as we pick that right foot up behind us. Slow and controlled. Last one. We're going to meet, reaching out, and then we're going to place that left hand to the ground. Keep the right foot elevated. We're going to rotate that right hip open. And as we inhale, we're going to draw that right elbow, or right knee toward right elbow. And as we exhale, we're going to press it back to the start. Sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Rotate the right hip open. Inhale, right knee to right elbow. Exhale, press it back and continue with your own breath. And again, slow the movement right down. We're trying to keep that knee and foot as high as we can for as long as we can. Imagining a box out to our right, and we're trying to really draw that leg around that box. Arms are strong, pressing actively through those hands. Gaze is relaxed. We're just looking at that space between the hands on the ground. Last one, wherever we're at, we're going to meet with the sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling, and then we're going to land on the ball of the right foot, gently press back through the right heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Right knee comes in to meet left. Same sequence on the other side. Left hand stays grounded, shoulders stacked over wrists. We're going to reach forward through those right fingertips, press back through the left foot, draw the belly in. We're going to bend the left knee, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And again, if it gets too much at any stage, just take the right hand out of it, but we can still work into that glute. Inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out. Sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling, and continue with your own breath. Really lifting that foot up, so we're really engaging those muscles in the glutes, in the hamstrings. If we want to challenge the balance, we might follow the middle finger on that right hand with the gaze. Otherwise, gaze is fixed to the ground just beside that left hand. Slowly, slowly. The slower we do this movement, the stronger it becomes, the more engagement we get. Mindfully moving. Keep drawing the belly in. Last one. We're going to meet with sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. We're going to rest that right hand down. Again, we're going to rotate the left hip open. Keep that knee up, keep that foot up. We're going to inhale, knee to left elbow. Exhale, press it back. Sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling, lift. Rotate the hip. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Exhale, press it back and continue with your own breath. Again, gaze is relaxed this time to that space between the hands on the ground. Imagining that block out to your left. Try not to touch down. Smoothing out the movement. Notice how it feels compared to the other side. Is it a little bit easier? Is it a wee bit more restricted? So again, just listening to those little imbalances, hopefully before they become an issue. Relax the breath. Nearly there. We'll do one more rotation. We're going to meet with the sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Landing on the ball of the left foot, gently press away through the left heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Left knee comes in to meet right. We're going to gently sit back toward the heels. Rest the forehead down, either toward the ground if it doesn't quite get there, onto a block or towel. And then we're just going to bring those hands back in line with the feet so we can give those wrists, arms, shoulders a little relief. Allow the shoulders melt toward the ground. Feel the space between the shoulder blades. Allow the hips melt, that lower back release. And just take a few gentle breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to bring those hands back out in front. Gently shift the body weight forward, just enough that we can tuck both toes under. So again, feet, knees are about hip width distance apart. We're going to sit back toward the heels into a little child's pose variation. Relax the head, relax the neck. Maybe wriggle through the toes a little bit, releasing into the arches of the feet. When you're ready, we're going to press both hands firmly into the ground. Press the feet into the ground. Lift the knees off the mat. Press the hips toward the ceiling, and then slowly lower those heels down toward the ground, coming into our first downward dog. So again, feet about hip width distance, maybe a little bit wider apart if it feels better. We're going to press the ground away. See if you can draw the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. Gazes back toward the knees. Drawing the belly in, see if we can lift those hips a little bit higher, see if we can lower those heels a little bit lower, and then gently paddle out the feet, allowing opposite heels melt toward the ground, softly walking it out, nice and easy. Again, not forcing it, particularly if we are recovering from any lower leg or foot injuries, just gently releasing. Relax the head, relax the breath. When you're ready, we're going to look forward between the hands and slowly walk our way to the front of the mat, coming to a nice wide-legged forward fold. Just allow everything to hang out here for a couple of breaths. A little bit of softness to the knees. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the breath. And then gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. Lovely. Take a little drink here. We're going to get a little flowy for the rest of the class. And so we've spent quite a little bit of time activating those glutes and hamstrings. We've mobilized into the hips, and hopefully we can tie it all together into our flow practice. There will be a little bit of balance here as well to help with that hip stabilization. So again, if you feel like doing your flow near a wall or with a chair beside you, again, and if you fall out, just come back in. We're not going to fall too far. When you're ready, we're going to come to the front of the mat. Just leave a little bit of space out front. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart. We're going to flip those palms forward, grounding that left foot firmly into the mat. We're going to inhale, pick that right foot out in front. So nice strong angles at the knee, at the ankle, at the hip. Notice if the left hip is kind of popped out, we want to pop it back in so both hips are level. And we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Get a little bit of stability and draw the belly in. We're going to inhale, pick the right knee out in front. As we exhale, bring a little bit of softness to the left knee. We're going to flip the palms back and gently step back onto the ball of that right foot, coming into a nice high lunge. And again, adjust the feet until you feel nice and comfortable here in our high lunge. We're going to inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee. Options to rest that right knee to the ground, or you can stay in your high lunge. We're going to inhale, lift through the chest. As we exhale, sink through the hips. Inhale, draw the belly in, relax the shoulders. Exhale, release those hips. We'll do 2 more breaths here. Again, feel free to drop that right knee to the ground if it doesn't feel stable. 1 more breath. From our lunge, we're going to drop that right heel down. Engage the core. We're going to open our arms into our warrior. Left knee points forward, palms face down. We're going to inhale, straighten the left leg, bring the arms together overhead, palms together, gaze goes up. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, warrior lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior lunge. 2 more with your own breath. Again, if you want to challenge the balance, we're following that left middle finger with the gaze. Keep drawing the belly in. 1 more. Lovely. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right foot. A little bit of balance here. We're going to walk those finger pads forward out front of the left foot, gently shifting the body weight forward until we can pick that right foot off the ground. So draw the right toe toward the knee. See if we can lift that right heel toward the ceiling. If we have blocks or books, we might place those hands on the blocks to give ourselves a little bit more height, a little bit more length into the back of the leg. The real thing we want to focus on here is getting that right heel toward the ceiling. So we're really engaging that glute and hamstring. If you wish, you can hover the fingertips off the ground, or you can always open those arms into airplane. Again, keep the hips and heart parallel to the ground. Keep drawing that right heel to the ceiling for 3. For 2. And 1. Finger pads come back to the ground. A little softness to that left knee. We're going to bend the right knee and we're going to place it behind the left knee and draw that right heel toward the bum. So we're in our pelican pose. This is challenging enough. If you find it's a little bit too easy, you can hover the fingertips off the ground, or you can place the hands to heart center. Press the palms together for 3. For 2. And 1. Fingertips come back to the ground. Right foot comes to meet left. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to your center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Second side when you're ready. Again, meeting toward the front, a little bit of space out in front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, palms flip forward, shoulders are relaxed. This time we're going to really ground that right foot firmly into the mat. And then we're going to inhale, lift that left knee out in front. Nice and stable, 90-degree angles at the hip, at the knee, at the ankle. Relax the shoulders, draw the belly in. Try to find a point of focus out in front to fix your gaze. We're going to inhale, lift that left knee. As we exhale, flip the palms back, and we're going to see if we can bend through that right knee and softly land on the ball of that left foot. So as softly as you can, and then adjust the feet. Get nice and comfortable in our high lunge. So take your time here. We're going to inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the right knee. Try to keep that right knee stacked over the ankle. Left knee on or off the ground. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. As we exhale, sink those hips. We do that 3 more times. Relax the shoulders. Draw the belly in. Nice and strong in the core. 2 more. Gaze is relaxed out front. 1 more. From our lunge, we're going to drop that left heel down. Right foot points forward, extend the arms out, palms face down. Notice that that right knee is collapsing to the left. We're going to re-engage that right glute so it's pointing out front. Gaze over the middle right finger. We'll inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead. Exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms, warrior lunge. 3 more to your own breath. Again, if you want to challenge the balance, we're following the right middle finger with the gaze. Keep checking in that right knee is pointed forward. So as we bend into the knee, really important that it's not collapsing inward, that we're nice and strong in those hips. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming on to the ball of the left foot. Walking forward with those finger pads out front of the right foot. Gently shift the body weight forward until we can lift that left heel toward the ceiling. Keep the foot nice and active. So draw that left toe toward the knee. Lift the heel as high as we can. Maybe use props to place the hands onto maybe blocks, books, whatever feels good. Maybe even a little step out in front. Important here, we're not rotating that left hip open. Hips are parallel to the ground, focusing on lifting that left heel. If we want to challenge it a little bit more, we might hover the fingertips off the ground, but keep lifting that left foot. We might open the arms into airplane. Gaze is relaxed for 3. Lift that heel for 2. And 1. Finger pads back to the ground. A little softness to that right knee. We're going to bend the left knee and place it behind the right. Try not to let that right hip pop out here. Draw the left heel toward the bum, and again we can stay here in our pelican. If we want to challenge it more, we can hover the fingertips off the ground or bring the hands together at heart center. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Hands come to the ground. Left foot comes back to meet right. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to go through a second round. Similar again, just with a few little extra challenges thrown in. So again, hopefully really feeling those glutes and hamstrings working tonight. When you're ready, we're going to meet at the front. Again, leaving that little bit of space out in front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Relax the shoulders, palms flip forward. Really grounding that left foot into the mat. We're going to inhale, lift that right knee out in front. So we have a little sequence here. If it doesn't feel good, you can choose to stay here working on that lovely single-legged balance. If you want to join me, we're going to inhale, lift the right knee. As we exhale, flip the palms back. We're going to press back through the right heel, straightening the leg behind us. When it won't go anymore, we're going to gently hinge forward from the waist. Opening the heart. Keep a nice straight spine here. We're going to inhale, flip the palms forward, pick that right knee up in front. Try to find a point in front to fix your gaze. Exhale, press those palms back, gently seesawing the body forward. Inhale, pick that right knee out in front, gaze is relaxed. This time as we exhale, a little bend to the left knee, we're going to press back and land on the ball of that right foot like we did in the first round. And we'll all leave here. So again, adjust those feet, maybe sink a little bit deeper into our high lunge, maybe drop down onto the right knee if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink into our lunge. Interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee. If the right knee is off the ground, we're pressing back through the right heel. Inhale, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Exhale, sink the hips. 3 more breaths here. Relax the shoulders. 1 more breath. With the knee off the ground, we're going to drop that right heel down, setting up for our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, left knee tracks forward. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, palms together, gaze up. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, warrior lunge. 2 more. Slow and controlled, mindfully moving. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right foot, walking those hands forward off the left foot, gently shifting the body weight forward until we can lift that right heel toward the ceiling, drawing the toes toward the knee, lifting as high as we can. Use a prop if you need, if you want, hovering the fingertips off the ground or opening into our airplane. Again, important thing here is that lift. So you can hold on to the wall if you wish, and just focus on lifting that right heel. Okay, so that's where we're really working on now. The single-legged balance, it's still working into those muscles, but my real focus this evening is glute and hamstring. 1 more breath. Rest the finger pads down. Bend softly in the left knee, bend the right knee and place it just behind the left, back into our pelican. Draw the heel toward the bum, maybe hover the fingertips off the ground, maybe bring the hands to heart. Hold it here, drawing the belly in for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands back to the ground, right foot to meet left, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done, and breathe. Last side, I promise, we're nearly there. When you're ready, again, a little bit of space out in front. Feet nicely grounded, relax the shoulders, palms flip forward, gaze, try to find your point out in front to fix your gaze, that nice drishti point or point of focus. Right foot grounded firmly into the mat, spreading through the toes, rooting our foundation. We're going to inhale, pick that left knee out in front. Option to stay here, or if you want to join me like we did before, we're going to inhale, lift the left knee. As we exhale, flip the palms back, press that left foot behind us until it won't go any further, and then gently lean forward. Think of the hips as a little hinge here. Inhale, flip the palms forward, lift that left knee high up out in front. Exhale, flip the palms back, press that left foot back, and then gently hinge forward. Last one, inhale, pick that left knee out in front. And then everybody, as we flip the palms back, little softness to the right knee, we're going to step back onto the ball of the left foot with control, and then scooch those feet apart until we feel nice and comfortable in our high lunge. Right knee stacked over the heel. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink those hips. Interlock fingers placing just above the right knee. Again, if the knee's off the ground, we're pressing back through the left heel. Inhale tall. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Last one. Picking the knee off the ground, we're going to drop that left heel down. Right knee points forward, extend the arms, palms face down into a warrior. Inhale here, exhale, sink into those hips. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead. Exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms, warrior lunge. 2 more breaths. Slow and controlled, really drawing those inner thighs toward each other. Feeling those hips, feeling those legs. And then we're going to meet in our warrior lunge. Cartwheeling both hands down either side of the right foot, coming on to the ball of the left foot. Walking those hands forward. So we've got little tripods with the hands. Gently shifting the body weight forward until we're nice and light in that left foot. Draw the toes toward the knee and gently pick that left heel toward the ceiling. So like I said in the last round, if you feel you're not getting that lift because you're focusing too much on that balance, bring the hands to the wall and just focus in on lifting that left heel toward the ceiling. You're still getting that activation, just maybe not as much into that lower leg balance. Again, options here to hover the fingertips off the ground or open the arms into airplane, but keep lifting that left heel for 3. Relax the breath for 2. And 1, finger pads back to the ground. Little softness to the right knee. Last little bit. Left knee comes behind right. We're going to draw the left heel toward the bum into our pelican. Again, stay here. Maybe hover the fingertips off the ground or bring those hands to heart center for 3. For 2. And 1, release the fingertips. Left foot comes to meet right. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. Well done. Hard work is done. We're just going to flow to get down to the mat just so we can give those hips a little release to finish with. So again, meeting one last time at the front of the mat this time. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. When you're ready. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Options to either step or lightly jump back to plank. If we're jumping, hands are planted, hips are lifted, we're spring loading at the knees. Try to engage those core muscles, springing those legs back to land as softly as we can in our plank. Everybody meeting in plank, we're going to inhale here. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in, roll the heart forward and tuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. As we exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, press the ground away, downward dog. Lovely. From our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, bend the right knee into the chest. We're going to step that right foot forward into lunge in as many steps as you need. Release the left knee down on top of the toe, and then walk that right foot to the very outside of the mat, bringing both hands inside. So again, try to keep that right knee stacked over the heel. Options here to stay high in the fingertips or maybe use your block and come a little bit higher. So again, feel that release into the front of the hips. Into the left hip, into that right hip, a little bit into the hamstring. Relax the shoulders. And we're just going to pause here for a few breaths. We're not going to hold it for too long. Just trying to release that space. So again, we did quite a lot of activation, so just enjoying that extra little bit of space into those hips. Relax the head, relax the neck for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes to the center of the mat in line with that right foot, so it can be on or off the block. And then we're just going to place that right hand above the right knee and gently twist the body to the right. Holding it here. Bonus release for 3. For 2. And 1, turning back. Right hand comes to the ground. Left hand comes to meet it. This time we're just going to bring that right knee slowly around to meet left. And then with control, we're going to step that left foot in as many steps as you need up in line with those hands. So kind of same pose on the other side. Left knee stacked over the ankle. Again, we might choose to come high up onto the block here, or just coming onto the fingertips. As we inhale, draw the chest forward, sink the shoulders. And as we exhale, just allow those hips soften toward the ground. So notice if that right knee is quite close, you're not going to feel that release into the front of the right hip. So I'm going to encourage you to scooch that right knee back as far as you can without forcing it, so you feel that extra little bit of release here. Pausing, breathing into that space for 3. For 2. And 1. Right hand to the center of the mat in line with that left foot, either on or off the block. Left hand just above the left knee and gently twist to the left, looking over the shoulder for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes back to the ground. Right hand comes to meet it. We're going to tuck the right toe under, gently come off the knee, and really slowly with control, we're going to step the left foot back to meet right. Lift the hips and walk it out one last time in our downward dog. Gently, gently, making any little movements into the body. So it mightn't be downward dog at all. It could be your little variation, maybe rocking the hips side to side, bringing a little swagger to our walk. Maybe looking out underneath opposite armpits, getting a nice little stretch into the sideways, a little release into the neck. So again, whatever feels good for you. And then eventually we're going to meet in stillness. Coming down onto the knees. We're going to bring the toes to touch, work those knees a little bit further from each other. Sitting back toward the heels, we're going to make a little pillow by putting one hand or one fist on top of the other and rest the forehead. And again, if the forehead doesn't rest, use a block, use whatever you need, taking the weight out of the head and neck. As we inhale, draw a nice deep belly breath. And as we exhale, just allow the body melt toward the ground. So feel the chest melt, the belly melts. Feel the hips release, feel that lower back release. Relax the shoulders. Each exhale, just allowing the body release and relax a little bit more. Maybe rocking the hips a wee bit side to side, releasing any last little bit of tension we're holding on to here. Relax the breath. And then rock into stillness. Just take a moment here. And then when you're ready, we're going to press the hands into the ground, tuck the chin into the chest, and slowly walk the hands back toward the knees until we're sitting back up onto the heels. Gently walking the knees toward each other. And we can finish here sitting back on the heels. We can come back into easy cross-legged or any other seated variation that feels good for you this evening. You can be up on the couch if you wish. Wherever we're at, just coming back to that lovely core connection, noticing if we feel any little extra sensations in those hips, those glutes. Sitting tall, opening the heart. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling. And we'll seal our practice like we started. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. We do that twice more. Nice big stretch. And release. And then gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your evening to come to the mat, to look after yourself, to create some lovely energy, some lovely strength and engagement, hopefully release, and hopefully bring that with you into the evening and into the week ahead.
And thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.